I have non-stop been playing Final Fantasy 14. I don't even know what happened to me that got me like this, bro. I have never been hooked on a game as bad as I have been this go around. The last time when I was hooked, I was a little down, right? So it was kind of cool playing a game that never ended. This time I'm perfectly happy and I'm stuck in this a terrible combination because there's no logical way for me to come out. I missed the Tokon beta. I missed certain games that I cared about because I'm locked in trying to kill this fucking clown.
You may as well be the dirt on the bottom of my boots, or the dirt stuck to the bottom of that dirt. I will destroy everything! I will create a monument to non-existence!
So with having a total of 3,000 hours in Final Fantasy 14, I have been seriously trying to figure out how I can exactly beat this game. I need to free myself so I can go back to making videos, go back to touching grass. I need to get my life, bro. And the only conclusion I had is beating Kefka, the current hardest raid, the hardest content in this game to attempt.
Actually, you're wrong. DSR is the hardest content in this game, I think.
No. Top is clearly the hardest fight.
I disagree. I had a very hard time on Fru.
Fru, are you a piece of shit? Something? Ukab at launch? That was something special.
Your comment that you're about to make sounds something like this. I want you to mute that shit up right now. Anyways, this is a 3-part series of Kefka. This is quite literally a POV of somebody, myself, coming in here as a novice, a beginner to the raiding scene and walking out as a motherfucking dog.
But the ending is the same, like I opened up the death note and no matter who's in, get your top blown like an average.
As you're watching, the game just dropped a bunch of new content, things I actually need to get. So I am currently streaming live on Twitch if you want to come after this video. But let's talk about what I had to do. So you see all this shit? This is the current best gear in the fucking land, all right? And not only the creme de la creme, it is what is needed to be able to fight and stand against Kefka. That shit is no joke, okay? Now, to get this gear and to even qualify to touch the dude, you have to fight these 4 raids. Each of these give you gear towards the end when you beat it. You have to also factor in your whole team needing gear, not just you. So it's a matter of time based off of, like, you know, getting every member geared up and learning the fight in its own. Waiting for everybody to learn the fight too is another aspect. As it gets tricky. It gets tricky. All right. Now, when actually fighting Kefka itself, that's a process in its own. And the team that I got for this, fantastic, but one thing at a time. So this might be our first time ever saying anything about Final Fantasy 14. I don't know how you made it here, but I like to just assume that that's a possibility, okay? Now, if that is the case, before we get into these raids, let me not freak you out. A lot of shit on the screen, always, all times. That's how the game works, but once you play it, it makes sense. Don't focus on this. Don't focus on these things that you won't see in the video that's about to happen. Just focus on my words explaining to you what the f is happening and what I'm doing. If you look at everything all at once, you might throw up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Savage M9. Now, we're in the first fight and I don't have the original footage. So this is me and Party Finder. And this turned out to be a great example as to why I tend to like making a group over doing a lot of fights in Party Finder. Anywho, first attack the boss does is a raid wide, hitting everybody. The healers and tanks, they handling that. Don't worry about it. So the next attack that happens is a tank buster. Anything you see in this red manner is something for the tanks to deal with. In this case, we took 2 hits. We had to make sure we shielded them properly, and the healers had to heal us properly, so we lived and survived it. Next up is Vamp Stomp. How this works is the bats that are purple are going to explode in a certain manner. First set, the ones in front of us. Second set, the one behind us. And the yellow expanding AoE, so we have some bats on us that we need to get off of us by going into that yellow expanding AoE in a certain order. I'll talk about that when it comes up again later, but what happens next is an attack that we have to stack together to soak the damage. If we do not all stack, it hurts more, and if we don't stack at all, whoever the stack marker's on is gonna die. And in this case, it was in the middle, so we all probably would have died. So the boss takes both sides of the map and makes it very linear for no reason besides the fact she wants to kill us. We have Saz behind us that is now the new boss. We need to focus on it while also focusing on her because she's still attacking us. We got to dodge in front because he's kicking behind, and oh yeah, the Saz are attacking as well too. So the dodge patterns are a little stricter than normal, but this is still pretty easy in my opinion. So for the next 2 more sets of this, same situation. He's kicking back, so we go front. The Sods are going to go middle, so we go to the side. Now the Sods are going to the side, so we go to the middle to dodge the kick that's going to happen on the opposite side. Got it? Cool. Makes sense. Anyways, do some more damage on the Sods, back up a little bit because it's going to push us the fuck back. And if we're too late on running back, the saws will kill us immediately. She's kicking to the left side, dodge to the right, dodge the saws to the middle. Now we dodge to the left, saws and the kicks. We're in good pace to kill the saws before the saws kill us. Still dodge the kicks, gotta respect them even though the saw is gone. Now dodge to the other side, and just like that, we have survived the first harder mechanic. So we do a little bit more damage, you know, get some licks in, and then in a second I'm gonna do a tank thing. This is a thing that I'm gonna do a little bit throughout all these fights, so when it happens, just shh, all right, quiet on the creek. So after the mechanic went off, I take the boss and I drag it to the middle. I do this so the DPS can keep their uptime going, and you know, they're still doing good on their damage, so we kill this at a fast pace. Now, raid wide, tanks and healers doing their thing, making sure we're alive. Don't worry about it. Now, for this next mechanic, we're doing a thing that is going to happen throughout majority of all the fights. All you need to know is, in this particular case, this is called a clock spot. In some cases, there'll be light parties. In some cases, they'll just be spread, okay? These are just terms for how we are going to maneuver as a group to dodge or handle certain things the boss will do. In this case, the boss is putting pieces on the floor that will explode and do damage to us. Whilst this is happening, we will all randomly get a marker over our head. As soon as a marker goes to our head, we go to our assigned clock spot that we divvy up in the beginning, or we have to move to place the marker over our head down at. In this case, we do this in this manner, putting it at the edge to create a safe spot in the middle, so we can then all stand there once all the markers have been divvied out, I guess, and we can now dodge every mechanic that the markers are then now doing. Cool, got it. Yeah. Tank buster, once again, we go a little bit north. We put some shields on, the healers do their thing, and we survive. Dodge the little circles on the floor. Easy peasy, a baby could do it. Next, we go back to Vamp Stomp. We've seen it before, we can do it again. Bats are gonna explode in a certain manner. First set being the ones in front, okay? Second set being the ones behind, and the third set are on us that we resolve by going in the yellow AoE. Same thing as before, only difference now is that she's adding kicks. We have to dodge the kicks like we did before. One side we dodge, next side we dodge, and then now going back to stacking together to soak this incoming attack. Easy peasy, a baby could do it, bro. So far, so good. Now the next mechanic, it is something that tends to kill Party Finder for some reason, because everybody has their own personal job, and if they mess up that personal job, everybody pays the price, okay? Now, raid wide, we soak that damage. I'm now facing the boss back north, which I should have did a little earlier in hindsight, but it's fine. The boss once again will destroy both sides of the arena. Once this happens, I am now employed being the north side of the map warden. All right, everything that happens over here is my responsibility, or at least the marker that's on the ground with a little red in there. See this thing right here? This is my job. Whilst dodging the saws that are incoming, I have to now destroy this flail that drops down as fast as possible. And whilst that's happening, there's a purple expanding little thing that drops down that the range have to deal with as fast as possible. I have a range move that can kind of do something, but it's not really my job to focus on that. I have to focus on these. If this is not destroyed in a certain amount of time, we're all gonna die. So no pressure. DPS is coming over to help me as they should. So, you know, nothing to worry about so far. Surely nothing bad will oh shit. So someone didn't destroy that little purple thing, and now it's bad because I got to stand in where the purple is now intruding, and now it's going to create a new problem where I now get clipped by the saw and I'm losing a lot of damage very fast, which means the healer has to focus on me and a lot of people, because we all got clipped pretty heavily. Now, whilst we are now all bleeding, we have a bigger problem. The range have not destroyed that purple thing that is expanding, and it's not looking good because we don't have a lot of time left. If we don't destroy it in a few seconds, there will be casualties, and it's over. It's done. The party left soon after this. This is why I don't like Party Finder, because niggas do not have heart. While I unfortunately don't have the footage of the team initially beating that first fight as a group, I do have everything else. So now welcome to the second fight with the A team, minus some people that left. In the final video of this, you'll get the proper introduction to everybody on the team and more of the storytelling going into it to kind of describe the struggle and tribulations. But for now, let's do the fucking fight. So main tank, right? Fight begins, timer goes off. I need to face the boss north. Now we've seen what a tank buster looks like, that red little icon over myself. Now you're gonna see what a shared tank buster looks like. The red icon with 2 balls moving in a circular manner. Me and the other co-tank have to take this together with some shields, or I will die if he's not with me. Now, there is an exception to the rule, but we'll get to that when it happens. Now, in this case, we have these lines that we have to resolve in a certain manner. To our right, we get a number if we have a line chosen on us, and with that number depicts where we need to stand to resolve this line attack to make this kind of pattern. Why we have to make this pattern against the wall is so we have space to now put this other attack that's going to be on all of us down. That's going to still do damage on all of us individually. After this attack goes off, it will leave a circle of lava where we last stood, and I have to do another mechanic here, which is dragging the boss up, because the boss is going to do an attack that is going to create a safe spot where I dragged him and everything else is fucking lava. Follow along. Like I said, it's getting a little complex. Don't ask the question of the why, just know this is the how. Okay, so we are now me dragging the boss further back because he made 2 circular attacks that gave us a little bit of room to work with. Where he's now doing an attack, I have to put a shield on to make sure we survive it because it's pretty heavily hitting. And now the stage goes back to normal. Cool. Now the fire boss leaves, and now we have to deal with the water boss. They're brothers. Save some for me. Keep in mind they are brothers, and they have 2 different health bars. Very important. Now fighting the water boss with his own health bar and his own water things is now doing a water attack. There's balls around him, which indicate that we have to spread out, and wherever he's at, we have to stay away. In this case, he is in the middle, so I need to go to the left side. We're gonna get knocked back by the wave while also needing to spread out so we don't clip each other with the attack that's coming next. In this case, we need to get into a clock spot that we designated in the beginning. He's doing an attack called reverse alley-oop. How we dodge this is we stand still. So he hits, don't move, and we survived. All right. Next is a tank buster. I'm about to do a big no-no for this tank buster. Popping all your mitigations in this manner, not good. But I'm not gonna get into how you should play a class. This is just hindsight me looking at me just thinking I knew what I was fucking doing, bro. Doing terrible damage right now, just ugh. Anywho, he's calling his fucking brother, bro. I don't understand. We had a good little 1v8. Why you gonna make it a 2v8? Makes no sense. Him and his brother are now gonna fight together, 2 separate health bars, and now they're gonna do an ultimate attack. This is great. To survive this ultimate attack, things need to happen here. Me and the other tank need to do a big shield, and the healers need to shield and make sure we are good after the attack goes off. Okay, we're alive, so they did their job. Got it. So I am now taking the blue boss, and the other tank is taking the red boss. We have designated who is going to be at what boss, and at certain points the boss will do it for us, letting us know who is going to fight what boss, whether we like it or not. So now we got to pay attention to where the boss is about to go and the formation of the surfboard at where he's at. The surfboard pointing down means we have to spread out where the surfboard is about to, where he's about to go. Surfboard pointing straight means we have to stack together where the surfboard is about to go. And it's repeating whilst there's one more pattern we haven't seen yet. So we spread again, going to this next spot, and then the last spot pointing up is a tank buster. So only I go over there, and I have to take this separately. Got it? Cool. All right. So done with that. Now I'm trying to drag the boss together, keep him centered. Got to do a little shield here to make sure we don't die because they're about to do big attacks. And yeah, great. So we're now about to fight the real fight. I'm on the water boss, and depending on what my debuff is going to be after this cast is going to depend what boss I'm fighting. My debuff is red, so now that means I fight the fire boss. Lucky for me, this is the harder boss to fight in this mechanic. So frame 1, I have to put this little thing down in a certain pattern so we can create some safe space for all of us. And then now I bring the boss up whilst not moving too far up to not get hit by the water mechanics that the water tank is doing. This is a shared tank buster, but because the other tank is busy, I am taking this solo, so I use my strongest tank move to take that and survive. Now we go against the wall because yep, water guy doing water things, and we got to put this fire thing on the far upper corner. With that being said, there's another fire attack that I have to make sure I put on the other far corner because we need to create as much safe space as possible because a lot of fire shit is going to get put down by the fire boss. Okay, so real quick, the water boss is doing a wave, and I need to face the fire boss out so that we create a safe spot when he does a mechanic he did before, which is cleaving everything and keeping one area safe. While this is happening, the water boss is running back. The water tank is running back to take the tank buster that only targets a further person away from the water boss. And just like that, we survived. A lot of words, a lot of fucking words, but it's cool. It's cool. So hard part kind of done. Now we have a gimmicky part. So we have a stack marker kind of in the middle of the stage. Both of the healers are going to go in it, and by doing so, they are now trapped. So to free them, we have to do a series of things. One of those being we take these tethers that are going to appear on two people, and we have to make sure the fire tether, which is what I had, hits the water bubble, and the water tether does not hit the water bubble. If the water tether hits the water jail, it is going to heal the jail. We need the fire to hit around 4 or 5 times to make sure this is broken and the healers don't die and we don't die as well, because if we don't free them in time, it's going to explode and just take us all out damn near. Okay, I need water. So anywho, I have the fire tether one more time. I just make sure I take it over here. You know this has been resolved correctly if you go far enough to where the pink tether turns into a thin orange tether. You just pay attention, look, pink, orange. That's when you've been as far as you need to be, so you don't die in the process of dealing with this tether. The water jail is done, and we go back to our original boss, which is the fire boss, do some damage, and we're good. Are you now starting to see the level of learning that goes into this fucking fight? This was literally a college exam for me a little bit, bro. Like, damn. All right, cool. Anywho, doing a little bit more damage on the red, whilst blue is still doing things that does not involve us because red is my target. I am going on the far left side of the map, and it is now split in half. So we have to then put this red marker in a spot where we create some room for us, put it on the corner, and we have to now deal with the water boss that's over on our side doing alley-oop. We move to the safe side for this one in particular, and we are good. Stack marker with the thing we got to place down. We go into the corner to place it down over here, creating more safe space for us. Next, we have to do a few things. We get knocked back. We're going to get knocked back into a stack because we have to stack together based off what the water boss is about to do. We stack to soak this big little puddle that's coming. Boom, did that. And we avoid the middle and the sides because they're going to explode after the wave touch the lava. Okay, cool. So now it's about to get a little twicky because it's going to be a mechanic we've seen before, but a little bit more Oasis. I need to go to the water boss. I'm kind of tripping right now and I'm fixing it. Good job, Avro. All right, the boss, we're going to get a debuff. It's going to tell us what boss we have to deal with. In this case, I got to go deal with fire. Now, this is going to be just like the other version of the mechanic to where we have to go to where he's about to go and dodge based off of where the surfboard's about to point. But the only difference is depending on when you are, I don't know how to explain it for everybody else because I only know what I have to do. When it gets to the tank buster version of the surfboard, I have to swap bosses with the water boss and take the water tank buster, not the fire tank buster. That was a spread, that's a tank buster. So now I go over here to the water side and I take this and I point it outwards so I don't clip anybody on the other side. Cool, got it. Now this is when we do a little bit of a mistake, but we have a great recovery. We have to now do a water spread, and the right side of this spread is going to clip the right side of our teammates, and now they're fucking dead. But thankfully the healer used the limit break that brings everybody back to life, their ultimate move, and we are now back in a position to do the damn thing. One more mechanic left that we have to resolve, and it's just home sailing, something sailing. Okay, cool. Bring the boss kind of towards the middle as much as I could, or I guess I wasn't doing that. I was predicting them to move to the middle. I need to go to our new clock spot far back to put this thing down to give us some room, and the alley-oops happened at the same time, so we needed not to move when that was happening. While the stack mechanic's going off, I'm going off into the distance because I need to take a tank buster. Boom, and I'm now good. I stepped into the lava, unfortunately, with the tank buster, and what that now is doing a lot of damage to me, so the healer has to focus on me quite a lot right now. But it is done. It is done. From here, the boss does a bunch of raid wides, trying to take us all out. And we're so good in damage that doesn't even bother us. We're gonna kill it. Let's kill the water one first, and then now we kill the fire one, and we have now beaten M10. If you thought this was hard or maybe a little bit complex to understand, just wait, nigga. Next, we are on M11, M3, whichever you want to refer to it. And to save myself the words, I'm going to just simplify a lot of things that this boss is going to do, because it's a lot of rinse and repeat for how we have to dodge and maneuver it. So I need to eliminate the word count, bro, because the second fight got my stamina fucking leaking. Anyways, raid wide coming. We shield that, healers do that. We dig, yeah. Now this boss likes fighting with weapons, and depending on the weapon that he has is depending on how we have to dodge the attack. So in this case, it's an axe right away. So the tanks have to stack together, everybody else has to spread out. Cool. So you see how I just described that, how I broke that down? That's all I'm gonna do going forward, and you just gonna have to deal with it. There's things that are gonna happen that I'm not gonna say, and maybe if you use your eyes, you can kind of see the nature of the attack based on the weapon, okay? And that's primarily with these three weapons. He's staring at a scythe, so we go into our clock spot being all around spread out. As long as we do this correctly, get on our correct spots, we will survive. Axe means we stack together in the middle. We have to share that damage that's about to happen. Sword means light party, so we split together and we stack whilst dodging the middle, and we're good to go. That was the warm-up, believe it or not. Nothing too crazy though. I think that was easy, okay? He's just gonna add some more things to it as time goes on. Anyways, calm little raid wide, we're good to go. What's about to happen next is a puddle-like attack to where below each of our feet we're gonna drop a yellow puddle. We need to be stacked together so we can control the chaos that would happen if we were all over the place. And then we do the puddles into a stack, we all stack together and take the damage, and he's staring at the sword, which means he's about to do the sword attack, or we go back into light parties. So now we got to see where he's gonna stare at next, which is gonna be the axe. He's gonna go in a clockwise motion here, counterclockwise, excuse me, and we go to the scythe in our clock spot to dodge this. Now immediately we have to go behind the boss because he's about to do puddles. I did not do that correctly, so now we have chaos. Thankfully we can recover from this, and we have to now go into our designated spread spot to deal with that explosion, and just like that we have now survived the harder version of that warm-up that happened before, ending it with a raid wide. Cool, got it. All right, now let's get into the visual diarrhea of the fight. There's a few of these. This is the first one. This is where we have designated safe spots that we have to move to with 2 partners to survive, and it happens very fast, so you got to do your homework here. In this case, I like to view this as a cup, and I go to the right side of the cup being the opening of this little pattern on the ground, and as long as I went there correctly, I survived. Everybody did their job, so they survived too. Next, we have Raw Steel Trophy. This is a scythe, so me and the tank have to spread and everybody else has to stack. And then we are alive because we did it correctly. So the boss is kind of mad. We have lived up until this point and he does not like that. He's like, what the frick? I did everything. So now he's doing a move that this is a straight healer mechanic where everybody's about to get hit very hard. 1% hard. But don't worry, our healers are trained professionals and they got us back to a good state in our health. Now, this is the similar rotation of before with the weapons. You just have to pay attention to where the next weapon spawns because it's going to determine where he goes next. It went clockwise, so we need to dodge in a clockwise manner. We do swords, we go on our light parties, we did axes before, which was a stack, and this is now getting on our clock spot, which is dodging the scythe. So clock spot or light party again with the sword, and then it's going to be stacked in the middle with the axe. And then I think it's going to end on the scythe, so we get into our clock spot one more time, but at one time. So after this final attack, there's going to be tornadoes that are left. We have designated tornadoes we have to bait because the tornadoes are going to do an attack. So it's going to attack the nearest person to them. If we all get into our positions and get on the edge of the tornado, we have these attacks go outside and we're all alive. So the boss is mad once again, and he is going to destroy this map again. So I have to mitigate this to make sure we don't take a lot of damage. Healers do their thing, and now we are in hell. It's kind of fucked up because we are having ethical hoops. Why is he being like this? Oh, we have a tank bust we have to take, or we as in me. I did my invul move where I take no damage for a little amount of time, aka my strongest tank move. I take both those blasts, and I'm good to go. Next is Orbital Omen, the worst mechanic for me in this whole entire fight. But I'm pretty sure I die a few times here. This is, spoiler alert, one of them. Here I have to point the boss as north as possible, so we now have room to dodge these oncoming attacks that are very fast. I didn't dodge correctly and now I'm dead. So, yep, it happens. It's cool. We have enough damage so where my death isn't too much of a big deal, but if this was a little bit earlier when this fight came out, yeah, that might have been a bit of a problem. It's fine though, because my off tank did a good job of holding the boss while I was dead and coming back.
So now I just resume my job and I got to stand in front of this stack because this one in particular, a tank has to be in the front to take a majority of that damage. So don't worry about what is happening on the screen. There's a lot happening. I just have to take this tether and certain other tethers that are appearing two more times. All right, that's all you need to know. I'm taking the tether and I'm making sure this is only hurting me. That's my job. That's all that matters. What everybody else is doing is making sure we have a safe spot after this final tether so we can avoid his final big attack. You see these rocks that are in line? Yeah, we need to get behind the final rock to live, but I need to do damage too. So I'm going to stay here for a little bit, get as much damage as possible before I run away because I'm scarred. And I'm running now. So I go to the final rock because he's going to destroy those rocks. The rocks are acting as a shield for us. If we didn't have those to block that attack, we would all explode. It would not be good. Okay, so I face the boss north so DPS can get their damage up. And I have to now get knocked to my side. It is Flatliner. So he cuts the middle in half, and now we have two sides of the platform. I am on one side and they are on the second. And there's about to be some visual fluff. So just know that I know what I'm doing, and I'll only tell you what I gotta know. If you wanna know the grand scheme of everything that's happening, go look up a guide, twin. There's two towers. I need to start on the tower north. So I don't have a tether on me, so that means I get knocked to the same tower. If I had a tether, depending on how the tether is, I need to either get knocked across to the next thing, or I need to get knocked on the same platform still. I have a marker on my head. I need to go over here in this exact spot to resolve the marker, and I am alive. We're all alive because we all did what we needed to do. That's great. Now I have a tether. Because a tether is across from me, I need to stay on the same platform because I need this purple tether to turn orange. And that means I need enough space to do so. You see how it's orange when I was far back? Got it. That's a sneak peek of what I'm gonna have to do here. So I move in, I'm doing the reverse roll of what I had before. Instead of standing on that marker, I now need to go back to make that tether orange so that I resolve that attack like that. Cool, got it, cool. So we have a little stack thing we gotta all stack up for to soak this attack. This hits very hard, way harder than the first boss that did this. So we do shields and things appropriately. And yeah. So wherever the boss is facing, we want to go to the platform away from him. So he's facing us, so we need to go to the next platform because he's angry. So the platform he was looking at, he's going to pick up and use as a fucking weapon. If we were on that platform, we would have died. He's going to attack the side his foot is pointing to, which is the right side. We go to the left side. Bow. We survived. He's mad, but guess what? We're alive, so who cares? Who cares that you broke your elbow? Do a little bit of damage, a raid-wide attack coming, but it's fine because we're in a war stance, buddy. We're ready for this. Words, I'm sorry. Anyways, Tank Buster coming. I don't have my move that can make me take this by myself, so me and the tank have to share this attack, and I kind of fuck up a little bit. I need to get in the front to take the next attack because he was in the front for the last one, and I was a little misangled, so I then died. We had to stay directly in front of each other so that we could share the damage. I was a little off, but it's fine. Now we have Orbital Omen again, and I don't know if I do this correctly. Basically what happens, I could tell you, but I didn't do it correctly, so just assume that I'm ass. Okay, so we're done with that raid wide, and we have one more big mechanic. There's another one after this, but this is the big boy, Stampede. Now all I have to do is the easy peasy part, stand in the middle. Everything else doesn't matter to me until I have puddles on my feet. I don't right now, so just stay in the middle. I'm good, and it's puddle time. So we go in a certain pattern as a group to make sure the puddles are not chaotic. We go around the boss, starting from A, going to B, going to C, and now I'm about to get a tether soon. Depending on where the tether is, ooh, I'm skipping a mechanic, a tower. I stand in the tower to take this. We all stand in our own towers, and we live. So I have a tether on me now. For this tether, I need to go exactly across in a certain manner so it turns orange, so I'm not gonna die, and that the blast is not going to then kill me. I needed to stand in front or behind. I needed to stand somewhere there, and I didn't stand in the right position, and I died. So yeah, a little rough for me, but it's fine, bro. It's fine. We're still cooking. So thankfully my mess ups is not the end all be all for the group. Right now the off tank has to just stand in the middle and take that attack. He's using his strongest move to solo that. So we all just do damage right now. This is the last mechanic that we have to worry about. And it's not really that big of a deal because we got it. So now it's my turn to take the next attack. I need to stand in the middle and I need to share the first part of this attack with the other tank, and then he leaves and I use my strongest tank move to take the rest. Okay, words. We do it like that just because my strongest tank move is on a timer, and I just don't have enough time on it to take the full brunt of that. But now me and the off tank have nothing left, so everybody's to stack together to take this last attack. The health is looking a little close, so we're pumping everything we have into this dude. Every last bit of damage, every last like strong attack we've been holding on to, bro. This is make it or break it. We live or we fucking die. And thankfully we have just enough damage to where we live. This last attack that he's gonna do will kill everybody. So thankfully you don't have to worry about that and see that. And we move on to the final fight.
All right, y'all, to explain this next one, I need y'all to pray for me. The amount of words about to come out my body, I'm just not prepared.
It's the shocking true face of the villainous president, the mighty serpent of yore, the Lindworm!
Never had a choice, never let the ops win. Calm them nerves, got the whole world watching. Ready, set, go. There ain't no stopping. Light it up.
This music is not edited in, by the way. This is all from the raid, bro. Fire song. It doesn't really fit to me because what the fuck are you talking about? Don't let the ops win. This is Final Fantasy, twin. But hey, it's still a good song nevertheless. Now, the original group split up a little bit because we had to do some maneuvers to make sure we get the gear killing this fight. So yeah, a lot of new faces, a lot of randoms, but I have faith in these boys. So let's see how it goes. So fight begins, and there's a lot that's gonna happen that I'm gonna just have to explain in a basic manner. If you have any questions about what happened where, feel free to ask in the comment section because I'm loosely going over how the resolve is for some of these because it gets wordy. Fixer, a raid wide that must have shields on that bitch. That hits very hard. If I didn't put a shield on it or if the other tank didn't, we take turns doing so. People might die. All right, it hits that hard. It hits that hard. So next, Lindworm is going to have orbs on its hands. The purple ones the tanks take. So in the order that they had in twos, we have to go in its hitbox in twos. And the green ones, I don't know who else takes what, but purple is my focus. And guess what? I didn't put enough shields on, so I died. Very stupid. Don't know why I didn't do that. Kind of embarrassing, but just goes to show that using the correct mitigations is very important in Savages, or you will die. All right. Now, after that first mechanic, we go to the left side of the boss. The boss is going to put something on us. Don't worry about it. Not going to explain that. But depending on a debuff that we get, I'm either going to have to spread after this maneuver or stack with my team after this maneuver. I'll tell you in a second. Orange means spread for me, so I'm going to spread. We're stacking together because we're about to drop some puddles. And yes, there is some things that we have to look out for with these growths on us. You see that little red dot on all of us, but just know that I got it. All right. I now have to go here for my spread spot. I face the growth out and it's good to go. We shot it out. No one died. That's cool. So now I have to go in this corner, take this tank buster, not get clipped by the puddle on the ground. And now we're good to go. We're good to go. We are so good to go. Getting some damage in. This is where it gets a little complicated, but just believe me, I know what I'm doing. I just can't fully explain it to you. So we had a raid wide a minute ago. You know what happens when that happens by now. You know, if it's gonna be on the test, I hope y'all get that right. Okay, so we got a debuff here. I am A3. What I need to do in the beginning, I'm going to stand on that puddle that has just appeared. Not now, okay, but in a second I'm gonna have to stand over that because that puddle is a tower similar to the towers you saw in the last fight. How this works is because I am A3, am assigned to this. I need to stand on this and wait for it to break. A bunch of other things are happening in the middle, but that's not my role, so it's not my not my monkeys, not my circus.
So I stand here, my tower just popped, 2s went out. So now I have to go out right now. I have to leave. Tether broke. Don't worry about what tether, what just happened. Don't ask questions. Don't worry about it. It's done. I did it correctly. We're alive. I just got to hope everybody else does their part correctly into the snake and we can get out safely. Yes, one more person needs to leave. And now everybody's out. Nobody died. This is great news. I'm excited. Okay, so the boss goes back to his little happy spot, and now we do some more damage while we can. This part is another scenario where I can explain to the best of my capabilities, but in a loose manner. Just know that in a second, there is a red growth that's going to appear on me like before, and where it's pointing is going to dictate where I'm going to have to move. If there, yeah, yep. It's either you got to explain all of it or a little of it, bro. It's a lot. So mine is facing to the left side, so I'm going to go to the right side. I need to point myself in a way where I don't clip and someone can catch what I'm about to throw to them. And successfully, we all moved in the right spots. Boom, we caught the ball. Got it. So got to do tank things. I got to go right up to this boss right here, bait this laser beam, and make sure nobody dies. Did I bait it correctly? Yes. So now I got to go to the middle, and we have to then move in a organized fashion here in a second. So we're gonna all group together on the top left. Fixer, gotta shield that. And then next, we're gonna have to bait some puddles. We go over here to stand in the middle to move as a unit, and we're gonna get a debuff that's gonna tell us whether we need to get hit by the boss's next move or we need to be on the outside of the boss's next move. Regardless of either or, we have to spread. So I have to be inside, dodge the puddles. I get my little sweet spot right over here. The boss is about to hit me with his dragon that you probably didn't follow it coming out, but it's cool. Got hit. Now we got to all go center. I'm about to get a tether and I need to break that tether as soon as possible. And unfortunately, I was a tad too slow here, or something happened. I don't know what happened there. I should have broke that, but regardless, dying here on this boss is a little rough because all the DPS matters, right? I think we're still good. We're still in range to beat this thing if everything goes right. We just got to make sure not a lot of deaths from this point onward. So continuing, do some damage, no big deal. Bro's growing some arms, and now bro's about to do some things that are not too difficult in concept. Just got to be fast on your feet with the movement. Bro did his limit break on our team, which is kind of cool. Get that damage you needed. This time I'm not going to die. Same mechanic as before. Purple's up. I got to take the first hit of this because that's my job. Purple was on the left side and purple came first, so I go take that first. And then how this then plays out is in the order of everybody's assigned little ball that they needed. Last tank is the last purple left. They have to then walk into the hitbox in the order that they appeared on the thing's hands. I'm glad I was able to show you how that works and not be a chud this time. So now, what does he do now? I don't remember until he shows me. I think some players are going to have puddles and some players are going to have something else after this raid wide. Yes, okay. Stack marker and then puddles, or I don't know what you call this. It's not a puddle, but an attack. We have to resolve it in a certain manner. You're just going to know which side you go to based off of what you have, what group you're a part of. You know, we dodged right without trying to dodge right for the left attack, and then we purposely went left to dodge the right attack. This is kind of the victory lap. Nothing too difficult happens here. I think my cousin, who's 3 years old, could do this with his eyes closed. So this part's no big deal. We're going to be going to the right side. Now I am now part of the stack group because I do not have the little purple attack marker. Stack with the group. Go back middle. I think here we're gonna get knocked back. No. This is a dodge to the left first, right? And then dodge to the right side first. Yep. And just keep on pushing, keep on chunking the damage, About to get the last, oh, hold on, big raid wide attack, I think, yes. And then now about to get the last set of these. So I'm purple, so I go to the left here. And then we survive that, no big deal. I think this is the knockback, or is this the left side, right? Okay. This is the left side dodge and then right side dodge. Damn, bro made it very, very easy. There's another variation of an attack he does sometimes, but he didn't do it at all this time around, so. And just like that, we have finished the fight. But unlike the other fights, this boss actually has 2 parts. Usually the last fight in the Forge series typically always has a part 2.
The battle is decided! Victory goes to the champion! Huh? Is it The Lindworm's heart! It's pulsating. I've got a bad feeling about this. It's contorting, transforming. Snake's alive! It's the birth of a new Lindworm!
Enter final phase Lindworm. Now, usually when you get to the second phase of a fight, you want to hit the boss to make sure you get the checkpoint and then kill yourself. Because now when you die, you go straight to the second part of the fight. Doesn't happen all the times, but in this case, there is a checkpoint. So the gimmick with this phase, this boss, he manipulates reality, best way to put it. And with how he does it, it makes explaining his mechanics very unorthodox because they are very complex in how you have to see and dodge them. I wouldn't say like giga complex, but imagine like, you know, you've only played the story mode, right? This is a fight that'll scare the bros away. Anywho, raid wide, you know that one, right? Okay, let's stick to what we know so far. You know, let's take the W's where we can. Okay, so we're going to do replication. He's going to split himself up, and I need to pay attention to the versions of him that are split up. The first version that jumps out to do an attack is going to be the fire clone right there, south side. But thankfully I have a debuff to where I don't have to pay attention to this mechanic. I'm purple, so don't worry about it. We dodged his little kick. He splits himself into twos. If I did not have purple, I would need to keep track of the clone that was relevant to me. And you see how they just mixed himself up and split himself into twos? Yeah, it's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up. But thankfully, based off the debuff I had, hold on, tank buster, double tank buster. I have to do this in a particular way. Do the tank invuln, take it solo, then go behind his kick. And then we go out for the second part of the tank buster, me and the tank. So it's run as fast as possible. Bow. Got it. Cool, got it. I don't have a lot of time to explain little things in the intricacy manner, but just know right here, this is replication 2 to go further and beyond. So where I am at, which is west, has now become the new north. And that's how we all look at this side to resolve this mechanic. We go to who we're tethered to, and in this case, I am tethered to the bottom right side. The bottom right side gives me a specific amount of rolls that I need to do now that I'm here. I don't remember it on top of my head. I just don't. It's been a minute. This has a lot of memory, right? That is a deformation. So what I need to do in a second here is, I think, resolve this by going to the back right corner, or no, to the right side. So this is going to do a large explosion on me in particular. Everybody has something they had to do to resolve the clone that they were attached to based off of the thing that was above their head, and I just did my specific job. This fight is very, very, very big on personal responsibility. So if nobody studied and remembered what they have to do when they get a certain thing, we're gonna die. So I did my job. That's all that matters. Now he's gonna reenact what just happened. So all of the clones that did a thing a second ago are gonna do a thing again in a different particular order. We're only focusing on me right now. So I just need to go over here. Okay. And then I now need to go to the other clone over here. This is a stack, right? So we're basically taking this stack. Someone died, but it's not the end of the world. We can still recover from this. And now I have done my job. Congratulations. Now this next mechanic, I vaguely remember. It was very simple. It was the easiest out of everything. Because it was so easy, I don't really remember too much of it. We get a debuff, and depending on that debuff is going to depend on my role in this scenario. I need to stop one of these candy looking things from going into these little vortex portals on the left and right, that little black ball. I need to find the pair. So that red little bow tie over there, I need to go get the opposite red bow tie and just run into it, so it goes into that a little delayed. The reason why we're doing those is because all those bow ties that are going into those black holes are going to replicate an attack that's going to come out of it. I have to delay one of those attacks to give us a safe spot, which is going to be in front of this vortex, and it's going to also be in front of this next I guess black hole vortex thing. So now that that has happened, we now have a debuff to where we need to go, I need to go in, and then people needed to go out to take that little beam, and now we have a raid wide. So enter Idyllic Dream. I am not going to attempt to explain this or what I have to do, because it's going to get wicked, twin. It's going to get wicked. We got a tank buster going on right now. After bro takes that tank buster, we got to dodge the kick right now from behind. Then I got to go out and take the second tank buster. Okay, cool, awesome. So now I think this is where Idyllic Dream starts. This is a mechanic that lasts 3 minutes, and it involves a lot of memorization. It is I think at this point in the game, this is probably the hardest mechanic I ever had to learn. So Idyllic Dream starts, and let me see. As you see the cheat sheet on the right side of my screen, that looks crazy, because this is crazy. I am tethered to this side, so that what does this mean? I think I'm defamation, right? So basically, the side that you're tethered to is going to tell you what you need to do to resolve it in a certain manner. Okay, so now we have clones involved as well too. Basically, the first tether is telling you the group that you're a part of. Then now the second tether that's about to happen is going to tell you okay, ignore this. So now he's showing you what he's about to do to you later. He is flipping between 2 dimensions. The blue dimension is when that is going to go off next time. Now we're in the green dimension. In the green dimension, a whole other set of things are going to happen. You have to remember what's going to happen in the blue dimension, because it's going to throw you back and forth between the 2 dimensions. So this is the green one that involved the clone I had initially. So I am defamation. Okay, so the first tether that I had initially told me in what order I'm going to resolve this defamation, and the second, this tether told me what I am, I think. So the attack went off because now we're back in the blue dimension. We're out of the green, and now we have to go to these sides and take this new tower. We're in another dimension. Crazy. So these things are going to drop on top of us. If the player next to me or me gets a debuff on us, we rotate. He has a debuff, but nope, I'm missing a detail here. If he had the debuff and he had the tower that I had, he would rotate, but he doesn't, so we're good. Now we're in the green dimension. We have to remember what's about to happen in the blue dimension when we get there, so don't worry about that right now. We have some tethered things we got to deal with. The defamations, like before, I had to go out to make sure my bomb didn't hit everybody else. That's what defamation is, and now I'm going back with the group. So the next person at a defamation has to go out to make sure their bomb doesn't hit the group, and we take the stack. So it's a little dance we got to make. So now let's go back to the blue dimension. If you recall, we're about to get hit with a meteor. The meteors that we're about to get hit with is going to tell us a specific thing that's going to happen. In my case, I'm going to get knocked to the side, but because I never got this before, I was in the wrong direction and got knocked to space. Thankfully, I am not the deciding factor if we can complete this or not, so they can bring me back to life and we can get back to resolving this fight. Now let's go back to the green dimension when I get back up, I believe. Temporal curtain. Yep. So last time we were in the green dimension, the last thing that happened, I believe, what was the last thing that happened? I already forgot. So he's bringing clones on our side, twisted vision. Okay. So now we got clones. Now they're gone. Remember that for later. So now he's reenacting something. I need to go over here with my other tank to dodge this explosion that's about to happen. We had to do a stack while also, I think we're just doing an stack. We just didn't dodge an explosion. So I go over here now to deal with the clones in the other dimension. The clones are shooting from that side, and then I believe the other side was dangerous. It was going to explode or some shit. And now I go back over here again with my tank to take a stack and dodge some other things again. And now we have reached the end of Idyllic Dream after this final dodge of this clone. I'm so sorry if your brain hurt. This is only 10% of the explanation of what is actually happening here. Yeah, tank buster again. We resolve it in a similar manner. I take the first hit, then we got to dodge the kick, and then we got to go out for the second part of the tank buster. So that's tank buster 1, kick, go out to make sure the group doesn't die with the second one. Got it. Cool. At this point now, we just have to do as much damage as humanly possible so we can get this kill. I think at this point, he's going to start hitting us with just a basic attack and multiplying. And as long as we can just stay damaging, it doesn't matter. We got the W. It's going to be a tight kill because we had a few deaths that really mattered, and they start to add up. Replication, he's just doing damage. Arcane Hell, this is a raid wide. He's going to keep on creating shadow clones and just blowing up, bro. That's what he's going to keep on doing back to back to back to back. So we just got to keep pumping, keep pumping. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. Got to survive. All the shields possible. Every mitigation we got, every heal that we possibly have known to man needs to be launched right now or we're going to die. And we do it, bro. And we do it. Just like that, bro. I have now qualified for Kefka. Now, I didn't expect this to take damn near an hour. So there was some things I wanted to kind of leave at the end of this, but I'm gonna just save all of that for the finale. If you guys want to be a part of the journey as I fight Kefka, I am now going to stream every day that we raid at my Twitch channel. So if you want to just sit here and be a part of the time I can finally be free of this fucking game for a hot minute, come on down, bro. I welcome it, bro. Kefka has to die so I can live.